Yo, man, what up, world? What up, world, man? This your main man. I am DJ Double Dose, and ooh, ooh, ooh. Why are we here, man? Y'all ready to capture? Is the SEC West over? I know that's a bold ass statement. I get it, man. I get it, man. But it is a real conversation that we about to have right now on the show. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? I am your main man. I am DJ Double Dose, man. I'm a little amped up, a little crunked up, man. Looking at this doggone Jets and Bills game, they don't win in the overtime. My boy Aaron, man, speedy recovery, man. Hopefully the X-rays are negative and that you are all right, because that was wild for you to sit around there and go down on the very first damn drive. That is crazy. But is the SEC? Oh, I am DJ Double Dose. This is Double Dose of Reality Sports. And man, we had another awesome weekend of NFL and college, man. But we're gonna touch on college just a little bit today. And then on the next episode, we're gonna touch on the NFL and what we saw, because the Giants, let me tell you something, New York Giants, you know, you had a whole offseason. You had a whole damn offseason. How in the hell do you come out from an entire offseason, spring practices, new contracts, draft picks, and you let the Dallas Cowboys beat you 40-0 in your house? We're going to touch on that in the next episode. We're going to stick with college on this one, because I got a lot more to say about that offensive line. You know what? We're going to talk about that later. But it's the SEC West over. I know you look at the caption, you say, man, Double Dose going on with that bullshit, man. Going on with that bullshit, man. The SEC West ain't over, man. We just had a couple of tough losses. But let's talk about it, because last week when FSU whooped LSU's ass, you know, it was like, hey, you know what I'm saying? FSU may be, you know, they may be a team on the rise. They may be, you know, national championship contender, playoff contender, whatever you want to call it. That was the narrative coming out of the FSU and the LSU game. But we already knew that the Texas and Bama game was looming large in week 2. But let's not just talk about that. Nah, we're going to get to Texas and Bama in a minute. Let's talk about the fact that Auburn, that's right, Auburn fans, I was coming for you too. Y'all didn't look good against Cal. Ole Miss, bruh, Tulane starting quarterback didn't even play the Ole Miss, Tulane. Okay. Texas A&m, y'all need to, you know what? We're going to bring that back. We are going to bring Plead the Fifth back on this show. Please believe we got a whole segment tailored for that. Texas A&m, where in the hell were you? Now, let's be clear. Y'all know how I feel about Miami. We ain't gonna make no bones about it. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna pick on it. We ain't gonna make no bones about how I feel about Miami. But the truth is, Texas A&m, what in the hell was that? Again, speaking on being unfucking prepared. That's right, we cussing today. Speaking of being unfucking prepared, how in the hell you turn the ball over damn near 4 times? You give up a kick? Come on, bro. And on top of all of that shit, Jimbo, you still had your hands in that damn offense. If you was going to bring Petrino there, let that man run his offense, man. That look like the same methodical bullshit that we've been seeing for the last X amount of years, bro. Come on, Texas A&m. And then we get to y'all king. Y'all king. Bama. At home. 50-odd, what? Damn near unbeatable in Bryant-Denny. And for the vast majority of that game, Texas whooped y'all ass. That's right. On both sides of the, on both sides of the trenches. They did. They whooped y'all ass, because you came into the game with one of the biggest or the most massive offensive lines in the nation. Everybody giving you props behind that. And Texas ate y'all lunch all fucking game long. That's why we cussing tonight, baby. And Texas ate y'all lunch all game long. They ate y'all lunch all game long. And for years, we've been talking about the Alabama secondary. That ain't nothing new. The blueprint has been out there for Alabama. And that's right. I know it. I know y'all going to be mad at this. And I'm going to clip a lot of this. The blueprint has been out on y'all for a long time. Elite or good quarterbacks that can throw the ball and are accurate, which, I mean, you probably can say this about anybody in college. But the truth is, that's been y'all Achilles heel. Y'all have ate a lot on mediocre and average quarterbacks. But when you get a chance to face an elite quarterback, he knows what to do with the ball. Somebody like Sark calling the plays, because Sark was out there willing and he was out there dealing. You feel me? As the Jets, in the middle of my rant, the Jets walk off with the victory on a damn punt return. That's what I'm talking about. Win that thing for Aaron, bro. Win that thing for Aaron, man. Shout out to the Jets for that victory, man. Y'all seeing this stuff live and in real time, man, because that's what we do over in Double Dose with Reality Sports, man. We come to you live and direct. But anyway, back to my point. Is the SEC West over? I don't think the SEC West is over. I think that you have to understand the state of college football and the parity that we have right now. And once you understand that, you can start speaking that ignorant ass narrative about SEC over everybody. No, bro. Ain't the same like that no more. Because in years past, y'all guys would sit around there and hoop and holler about how, teams don't want to play in the SEC because, it's this and it's that. But y'all would go out and y'all would dominate these games. Well, through the first 2 weeks, y'all ain't look that great, bro. You ain't look that great. So how long are we going to keep pitching that same bullshit narrative about the SEC is the strongest conference in America? How long are we going to keep pitching, huh? I'll wait. I just want to know. I just want to know how long we're going to keep pitching. Tennessee ain't looked all that amazing. Georgia been looking, I think they're going to handle their business. I mean, how long we going to keep pitching? Y'all tell me. You know what I'm saying? And this ain't got nothing to do with the squad. Ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm pissed off, man. How in the hell you sit around there and you bring a man in now? Now we're gonna segue. We're gonna get back to Bama in a minute, but we're gonna segue to Texas A&m. How in the hell you bring in a man with former head coaching experience to quote unquote run your offense, even though we all had problems, we all had issues because we didn't believe that Jimbo was really going to take his hands out of the offense. That crap on Saturday showed us that he didn't take his hands out of the offense, not at least a little bit. Now y'all sitting around that Texas A&m having buyer's remorse. Well, let me tell you something. You look at the roster and you say, oh, man, we got all these 5-star. This looks the exact same way FSU looked towards the end. The recruiting classes look awesome. But where are they placed? Are they all in the right positions? Are they all? Is it balanced across the board? Because you got to look at that team in Texas A&m. They've been talented for the last 2-3 years. And what have they done? They've been very mediocre. Y'all were very vocal about running Kevin Sumlin out of town, only to get the same damn results. You're getting the same damn results. And Jimbo was my coach, brought us a championship. Hats off to Jimbo. But the offense that he's running and the style of play that he plays is passing him by. And you bring in somebody who is supposed to help innovate, because let's be clear. You go look at those offenses. You go look at offenses in general that Petrino has been a part of. That we saw on Saturday don't look nothing like Joe. None at all. None at all. So, Bobby, I'm sorry, Petrino. I'm sorry, not Joe. Bobby. Sorry. I just want to know, man, what are y'all thoughts? What are y'all thoughts? Sorry, I got a little excited. Say Petrino. We're just going to say Petrino because we don't want to mix up the names. We want to mix up the first name. I want to know what y'all thoughts is. Because at the end of the day, if we get off of the Texas A&m piece, we get off that. Let's structure the show. Let's calm it down. Let's structure the show. All right. So when you look at what happened with Texas A&m and Miami, is Texas A&m a good team? I honestly, at this point, at this stage, I don't know. because what we saw lack of discipline. We saw special teams play not being that great. I can't put that all on Wegman because he did what he did, but he also turned the ball over himself. And for the most part, they went out there and they were able to have a good job against Miami's running game, which is what their strength was coming into the game. But overall, mentally, you have to start wondering within that program, are they all the way there? Is there internal beefing? Is there internal fighting going on that we may or may not know? I mean, that's a question that you have to ask yourself. And then when you you transform the game into Bama and Texas. So we're gonna pivot. We're gonna continue to talk about the SEC West, but we're gonna pivot. We're gonna talk about Bama and Texas. I mean, if you look at what now for those of you who have been following the show, then you know that this is a game that I picked. So this, for me, I'm not surprised about the outcome. Hell, I got Texas going all the way to the playoffs. Documented. I stamp on mine. That's what we do over here, Double Dose of Reality Sports. We don't sit around here and we say things in revisionist history. Go back a couple episodes ago, I gave you my 4 in the playoffs. Texas is 1. And I said Texas would be there because they would win this game. Documented proof on YouTube. Pull it up. You can see it. So I'm not speaking out of two sides of my mouth. I'm not surprised that Texas went in there and handled their business. Not in the least little bit. But what I am surprised about is the way they went about it. For me, I felt like if Texas was going to win this game, it would have been in the shootout. I didn't think that they were going to be able to win on both sides of the ball in the trenches the way that they were. I know a lot of people are going to harp on because, you know, everybody want to be Monday morning quarterback. Everybody want to be Monday morning quarterback. Everybody want to talk about they should have pulled them. They want to talk about what they would have done or what they couldn't have done. Let me ask you something, armchair quarterback. Let me ask you something. You want to say the boy was taking off running too fast? Let me ask you something. If you got multiple 280, 290, 300-pound linemen coming at you because your damn O-line can't block worth a damn, eventually you going to get happy feet too. Don't sit around there and dog that kid out because eventually he got happy feet. Did Miro play great? No, he did not. But is this loss totally on him? No, it is not. Because last I checked, Miro don't play defense. Last I checked, he don't block nobody. So before y'all start pointing y'all fingers at that kid, man, understand that he was under duress. If you go back and do the rewatch, don't sit around there and worry about the broadcast because you probably don't forgot it because you were drunk and inebriated. Go back and do the rewatch. That kid was under duress damn near that whole game. Did he make some bad decisions? Oh, yeah, he did. But he also made some good decisions. That loss ain't all on Miro. So don't y'all do that, man. Don't do that. The loss ain't all on the kid, man. Because the kid don't play defense. And he can't block for himself. And you look at any level of ball, whether we're talking about high school, college, or pro, if I'm under duress on multiple occasions throughout the game, yeah, eventually that clock in my head gonna start speeding up. It's like, hey, I might not even have the 4 seconds. Hey, it might be 1, 2. If it ain't there, I'm gone. And maybe it might be something else to develop if I give it a little more time. But because I've been getting my hat handed to me, yeah, I might got a little happy feet. You feel me? And we're not even going to get on Alabama secondary. Certain people shall remain nameless, but y'all watched the game. Y'all already saw. Y'all know who's in Bama secondary and y'all watched the game. Did Bama secondary have a good game to you? Or did Sark understand and know some things that he had seen? Either it was from, because most of the kids that's there weren't there when he was there. And if they were young. But he knows the scheme. And that's when I want to start talking about ball. He knows the scheme that is in place. So it's not so much about the personnel. And that's where you have to come back to, if we're gonna heap praise a lot of times that we give on Nick Saban and Kirby Smart, then you got to heap praise on somebody like Sark for understanding and knowing what he was about to face, being able to identify it, cultivating a game plan where he was able to execute said game plan and handle his business. Y'all want to talk about how the game got a little close because Bama did this and Bama did that. Texas had drops in the end zone. We're not even going to talk about that. So the score actually could have been worse than what it was. Now, as I make another, I'm going to stop right there because I can pause and go to my next point. Bama's not done. So I gave y'all a lot of critique in the last, 7, 8 minutes. Now I'm going to give you some praise. Bama's not done. Because if you look again, as the title says, is the SEC West over? If you look at the rest of the SEC West, who's gonna beat them? Do you believe in Jane Daniels? Do you believe he's going to be able to figure it out? And because let's be clear, Bama defense, they were hitting. They were popping pads in that game, man. So do you believe that LSU was going to string it together and figure it out and walk into Bryant-Denny and win that game? I don't. After watching Texas A&m, do you got any faith that they're going to be able to beat Alabama? I don't. Looking at Ole Miss struggle with Tulane, do you think that they're going to beat Alabama? I don't. Mississippi State, I don't. Arkansas, I don't. Auburn, is Jordan Hare. I think that's what the game at this year. Is Jordan Hare. Maybe we'll see. I still don't think they'll pull it off. So with all that being said, Bama's not over. This is just a bump in the road. They're going to figure out whatever they need to figure out at quarterback, whether they stick with Miro, whether they make the change to Simpson or Buckner, or whatever choice that they decide to make. But they're not over. But this just further proves the point that if you are an elite quarterback or good quarterback, you ain't even got to be elite, but if you are a good to elite quarterback with the right play caller, you can beat Alabama whether it's at home or on the road. And there were some years where there was a stretch where we couldn't say that. Even with the SEC, even as to go back to the title of the show, even with the SEC West as a whole, these non-conference games, they will win, and they will win big. And I'm talking about everybody from top to bottom. They will win these games, and that would be their stamp. That would be the stamp. Like, hey, this is the SEC stamp. Yeah, we brothers, and we fight, and we beat up on each other. But when we step outside the house, we're going to whoop everybody else's ass. Well, you go look at the SEC's record in the first 2 weeks in non-conference games. Do you think that that's the case still? No, man. I ain't telling you that the SEC as a whole is over. I'm not telling you that at all. I'm just telling you that it's time to wake up and it's time to understand that this ain't 4 or 5 years ago. The transfer portal, NIL, is making things a whole lot interesting across the board. So I really don't have much else to say. I mean, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna have a moment of humility on this show. Probably the only time I'm gonna do it. That's right. Probably the only time I'm gonna do it. Clip it. Salute to Miami, man. Hats off. Hats off to you fellas. Because most people did not think you would beat Texas A&m, but you were able to pull off the victory in spite of. So hats off, salute. So this is going to be a short show. I ain't going to hold y'all long. But just ask yourself this. In years past, would you have thought that we would be having a conversation where the 3 favorites from the SEC West will lose to 2 ACC schools and 1 Big 12 school. I'm going to leave y'all with that. Always remember to live, laugh, and love. Live your life to the fullest. Love on the people that love you back, and find you something to laugh at each and every day. This is I Am DJ Double Dose, and I'm out.